Hello everyone and welcome back to the techystack channel. So today we'll try to explore one more concept on the document understanding. So already we know the how the document understanding will works. So now we'll explore some little bit more point on this. So when you check here, I have the three pages. So I will open one first page one. So in this page one, when you check, I have this only the one table. So when I go and check on the page two, so here I have a couple of more tables. So let it open. Mm, Okay, let me. Okay, it's opened. So now when you check here, I have the three tables. So three or two. Okay, three tables are there. So similar way, I have when I open the page three also, I have some more tables. So now the concept is I need to extract these tables. Okay, so when I try to exporting the data to Excel file, so I got one issue. The same thing, it might be occur in real time or not, but I face that issue. So I'm explaining the same thing. So let me go back to the Uipath studio, and the design has been already done for most of the things. So when you check here, okay, just we'll go with from the taxonomy. So this is load taxonomy. In the load taxonomy I designed, so I designed five columns, so which is related to the data tables. And when I go and check here, I have a couple of tables, and I have the columns. Just I give the random names. So if you want, you can change these columns, whatever it may be. So this is thing is under taxonomy and digitization as it is. I just pass it path, and these of the things classification. Let me go and check manage learning. So I given these things. And when I go to this data extraction, so here I did one small change. Let me open this. So when I check here, I mean, when we check here, the thing is I have captured the all pages. Okay, so here, I mean, this is the one of the note. So how we can identify means, for example, just ask with the client or who are the superior of this project, who are taking of this. So just discuss with them. So what is the maximum pages of this particular PDF? So as of now, I taken this maximum pages as three. Okay, now what we want to do? So you need to take that particular file and grab this data. So when you check here, I got this all the data extraction has been done. Okay, so make sure that so what is the maximum pages will come. So for example, right now today as of now we have the four pages. Tomorrow might be increased, then we need to train the document. If you not the train document, if you got the five pages of document, it won't extract. So make sure that. Okay, just I am closing this one. Okay, rest of the things all the same things. I have not did anything. So now I'm going to run. So here which one I taken. So I have taken here maybe the one document. Okay, page one, that's fine. Okay, now I'm just go and run this document. We'll see how it exported and what is the precaution we need to take to the normal. Okay, let me close the one. So this is a full design I have designed. So the same thing I have explained there. So I'm running this one. So we have to wait for a couple of seconds. So it will exported the data and exported from the PDF to Excel file. So now it's done. So now I'm going to this Excel file. Let me go back to one step. So this is my Excel file which got generated right now. Okay. Okay. I did one small mistake. I need to give here table data set dot data set dot tables of two. So why I'm taking means my data is available on the table two. So how you can get to know that means, so we can go on the immediate window and you can check the data sets, just give the data sets, it will give this tables count. So based on that, we need to verify that. So while going, we can do that as well. So just first of all, we need to understand what is the exact output it's coming. So why it's occurring that, how we can modify the data to another way. So now I'm opening this one. So when you check here, so I have this data. So this is a table one. So one by one, one into one, similar to all the tables. So I got this. But when you check here, the data is so messy and we are not able to read this. So when you check only the one column, it's got extracted, but data got extracted, but it's which is not in the form. So this should be in the like this one by one, just one by one equals to one, similar way, one by two equal to two, three, seven, and so on. It should come like this. So I'm not sure why the data has extracted like this. So this is a one kind of scenario I have faced in somewhere else. Directly, I cannot show that particular kind of the data. So I checked in Google. So I got this kind of data and save it, and I'm exploring these things. So the data is common this way. So how we can convert it with this way? Okay, these things we can handle with this code or VBA also. It's very easily to handle that VBA. But now we are exploring how we can do with this completely with UFI, not using this any VB.NET code or nothing. So just with the help of UFI tool itself, we'll try to explore. So let me close this. Okay, here first of all, what we need to understand things. So we don't know how many tables will come. I mean, tables means columns, for example. So as of now, I have the document is 5 tables. So just assume that. So as of now, I have the 5 columns, then I can directly build the data table for five columns. So if in case, so as of now, I don't touch anything this part. So as of now, I created this 5 columns. So if in case, might be the future. So we don't know how many columns will come. It might be the 5, 6, 7, and so on. We don't know. So that time, what we need to do now? So we need to create that dynamic data table. So how we can take the data table means just clone that. So once you clone data table dot two of dot clone, so let me put breakpoint here and I will run till here. And I will show that as well, how I can get data set that data table to now. So I will show till there and we'll export one by one, step by step, how it will extract the data to the our horizontal way. I mean, call row wise, 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, first of all, you can just update this data set. So once you update this data set, so it gives a data set. So again, dataset dot tables. So now it will give this collection. So it's a collection of 4 sets. So when you check here, simple data. So simple data is nothing but a 0. So when I enter it, it's not getting giving the data. So when I enter one, okay, I kept this 11. So when I enter one, also I am not giving the exact data. So now I will take this two. Why it's getting twice? So when I check here, so I got this data. So in this data, I have this column. So now what I will do now? So just I will dot clone. So when I clone that, I got this columns. So 5 columns. So like that, you can create the data table. So as of now, I'm not going to create the data table. Already I have created this data table here. So now I will just go extract this data to our required format. Okay, let me stop this. And what we need to know, so we need to understand here, we need to use this for loop. So first of all, what we need to understand here thing is, first step, let me make it very simple. So first, we don't know how many column rows are will come. So first of all, we need to loop that rows. For example, when I take this PDF one, okay, I have this only getting the one column. So when I go this here, like a row. When I go on extra here I'm getting the two separated columns. I mean, two separated rows are getting. Okay, so first of all, we need to loop that the data set. For that, what we need to do now? So we need to take for each row data table. Okay, I will show you. We'll go one by one. So data set dot tables of two. Okay, now I will put one message box here. We'll check that. So what data it's throwing? Just we need to check that data. Current row of 0.2 string. Okay, here I'm going to run this multiple times because we need to understand that. We run this and we'll check. So how it loops and how many times it will loop that. Okay, first we'll understand that. So it got done. So I'm running this. So when you check this, I got this data table in one by one. Okay, now when I go step forward, it's got done because it's having the only the one row. So now it's fine. So this loop has been done. So once you've done this, so next step, what we need to do? So we need to use this regex regular expression. So how because I have the data in one by one table format in different format. So now I need to extract that specific format. So if I want to use that regex, so I have this small thing query is there. So I just use this directly this regex. So before using that regex, so I will show one more thing. Data table. Okay, so I want to update this data table, add data row. Okay, so when you check here, add data row, so it's allowing this array after row. Okay, for example, what happened? So I have this table one. Table one. This is a table one. In this, having first column zero. Just assume that 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. If it is zero, I have this one data table one. So similar way, I have one by two. So this is we are using current row of 0 dot to string, current row of 1 dot to string, current row of 2 dot to string, and so on. Similar way. So if you check here, every time column has increased. For example, just this is a column one. Assume that, and this is a column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5. So when it is looping that inside of this, so each and every time column has been increased. So now we need to design that logic. So first of all, if we want to create that array, so now I need to create that array first of all. So I need to create the temp array. So I'm taking this as an activity. So just I declare here, already I create this temp array, directly I use this temp array. I mean, variables all are created. So when I go and check, so all variables are created. So just I'm using that variables right away. And this is the one. So inside I will show you what it will give. So what it will give, it will give this dynamic temp array. So it's give this null. So, and if you check here, columns dot count, we don't know how many columns it will come. For example, right now I have this three columns, then it will give columns dot count, it will create the three dynamic array. If I have the five, it will create the five dynamic array. So let me save this. Okay, this is done. I'm remove, let it be, this one also we'll discuss. And next what we want to do now, so we need to loop that. I mean, before looping that, we need to get that regex. Why we are using this regex? So we need to get this format. Okay, I will take matches, MAT. Okay, matches. Okay, just drag and drop and configure this expression. Go to this advanced and update this value. Okay, now click on that save. So what is my input? So here my input is getting from this current row. Let me update this current row of 0 dot to string. Okay, here we want to understand the one more thing. For example, every time this regular expression coming, for example, now if you see his, it having current row of 0 dot to string. So now next it will move to, then I need to get this current row of 0 dot to string. Next, it will give this current row 0 of 3, 4, 5, and so on. So now here what we need to know, we need to loop that. First of all, first we need to take that 0 index. Second time we need to take this second index. Third time we need to use this third index. Like that we need to create. Okay, let me create for each loop, for each row, just drag and drop. And here what we need to do, so I need to use, I mean, I forgot to create one variable. Just I will create temp data table. Okay, let me create. Okay, temp data results. So I have just created like this. Okay, and I update. After this, I will put loop. Okay, next I am taking this message box. Just I want to check whether data is getting or not. Just drag and drop and check this current item. Current item dot to string. Okay, this one we'll discuss. We'll go one by one. So first of all, we'll understand how the looping part is working. So just I'm running this again. So I told you. So this will run. I will run multiple times on this complete session. So if I mean, you have to bear with some time and understand this how it works. Okay, it got extracted the data. So now we know this first for loop how it will works. So just I won't do anything and I will show this temp array how it looks like. So when you check here, temp array all has this null. So later we can update the data 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. We can update the data. Next here we have this regex. So just we need to check that regex. Regex I updated this temp table result. So when I hit enter, let me let me check here temp table result and I will check this current row of 0 dot to string as well. Okay, it's the data has been fine and now I will check this temp data result. Okay, it matches 0 but it's not extracted properly. Okay, let me check. Did I read anything wrong? Okay, this double quotes which is not required. So just I will stop this and I remove the double quotes and I will run again. So when you check here, double quotes it's got. Okay. So sometimes these kind of issues will come occurs very common. So we need to check where it got messy. So we need to find out and we need to rectify that errors. So only the thing is here what we need to know, we need to understand what is the input, how it looks like and how we can modify as per the requirement. That's the main thing we need to understand apart from nothing else. So if you know that thing, then you can easily to crack it. Okay, now I got this result. So just check here. I got this data one by one, one by two. It's in the part of array so collection which part is there. So now we can check here. This is the looping. So now I need to get one by one. After this, one by two, one by three, one by four, and so on. I got this all the data. So now when I check here, I am getting this data, repeated data. So one by one by two, one by three. Okay, now the thing is what we need to next step. What we need to do means we need to take one more look because so our I will show this activity. So already we get this activity. Update row is there, na? Data table. So this data table, I mean add row. Add row is a combination. It's allows this array. So for example, I have this 5 columns. The first column data is this one. Okay, 1 comma 1. And when I go this after this next column 2 comma 2, this is the array. So we need to design output should be like this kind of array. First of all, first iteration I need to get this data. Okay, second iteration I need to get this data. Third iteration I need to get this data and so on. So we need to get like that. So for, if you want to get that data like that, so again we need to use inside of this one more for loop activity. Okay, just I'm stopping this. Okay, so we got this data one by one, one by one, one by one. We are getting one by one by two, one by three, and so on. So next inside this for loop, what we need to do now? So we need to use this again for each row for the data table because we have this one. For example, first time it's coming first column, second time it's coming the second column, and so on. So we need to design the loop like that. So inside of this for each activity, so we need to use one more for each activity. So that is looping for the column wise. So I have this column one, column two, column three, and so on. Now. So it's looping that one. So let me take this for each activity, just update here. And here I need to loop that column wise now. So just I'm taking this data set dot tables dot okay, tables of two dot columns. Okay, done. This is the done. So next inside we need to take this one more regex. So in that regex it's getting this one by one. So just I will copy this as it is and I will update here. Okay. Inside this I will just change the thing. Okay, here I use this current row of 0 now. So what I need to do, 0 means first of all I got this first column. Okay, second I need the second column, third I need the third column. So similarly how many columns are come, it should be this column things. So for that what I will use now, just I remove this 0, I mean remove that 0. There I will mention current item dot to string, you can give this dot to string is also fine, or if you're not given dot to string also, it's fine, no problem. That's it. So this is the thing. Now it will looping for the column wise. First of all, it will loop the first column one and fetch this data. It will fetch this data. And second time it loop for the column two and fetch this data. Third time it will loop for this column and fetch this data. Similar for the all the columns. Okay. Now once this is done, so next step what we need to do. So we need to update this array. Okay, so already we designed the temp array. So just we need to take this as an activity and we need to implement, for example, temp array of 0, this value. I mean, temp array of 0 means it needs to store this value. Temp array of 1, this value. Array of 2, this row. Array of 3, array of 4, like that we need to update. Okay, just I'm taking this as an activity. This is some little bit confusion. Just we need to observe this how I'm doing that, you will get to know these things. Okay, just I open this here, temp array. So here what I will need to do, so here we need to take some temp counter, like that I will declare the top side later. So as of now I will just taking this temp counter. Okay, that's it. So initially I will take this tempo counter as 0. On the top I will declare here. So just let me declare that. So I will declare here temp counter, assign temp counter equals to 0. Okay, and similar way I need to get this temp counter 1 as well, 0. So these two things I declared. Okay, next, so what type of value assign to that assign activity? So just open this and update this. So we are getting the data on the table result. So just table result, okay, of temp counter 1. So temp counter it is 0, 1, 2, 3, like that, it coming. Temp counter 1 dot to string dot to dot to, why it's not getting, okay, dot to string, fine. So just check if I got any error or not. So there is no errors, that's it. And next what we need to do, we need to declare this increment. So increment of this temp counter. So just I will take this as an activity, just taking this as an activity, and temp counter is equals to temp counter plus 1. Okay, so in this array, I mean in this array, temp array, so I got this data. After this getting the data, I need to update in the same data into the data table. Okay, just take this activity. So I mean, why I'm typing this every time means sometimes I remember this add data row. Sometimes I not remembering. So if I enter this data table, so I will get all the activities which is related to the data table. So just we need to remember the very high level. Each and every activity remember is not the. I mean, if you remember well and good, sometimes it might be forget. So just that point note. So just add it. So this should be outside of this loop, because if I put inside of the loop, everything it's updated, it's not the big deal. It's updating the wrong data. Okay, and update this here final data table. Okay, in this array I need to update this as temp array. That's it. After this, what we need to increment this temp counter 1. So once this is come outside, it will go on the top side and increment the temp counter 1. Just take this as an activity again and drag and drop this temp counter 1. Temp counter 1 is equals to temp counter 1 plus 1. Okay, this is done. So this message box which is not required. Okay, let me, this also not required. Let me run one by one and we'll understand this. So I mean how we designed, first of all we are looping this data table. So we don't know how many rows are come in the data table. For example, we get 1 row or 2 rows, might be the 3 rows or might be the more than that rows. We don't know. So first we declare that row. After this, I'm declaring this one temp array. So every time when I get this one row, for that I'm declaring this temp counter array. Okay, this every time this is a standard and every time it will make it as a null. So if you create this all the top also, it's fine, not any problem, but make sure that every time for each and every loop, so that should be the blank. So after this I use this regex. So why I'm using this regex means I have this one column. Just let me open this Excel file. I have this one column. So in this column, I have this data. Okay. I don't know how many will come. Right now, I have the 1 by 10 into equal to 10. Might be tomorrow it will come 1 by 11 equals to 11, 1 by 12 equals to 12. So we don't know how many things it will come. As of now, this is the data I'm getting. Okay. So I need to loop each and everything and I need to fetch the data. For that purpose, I use this regular expression. So in this regular expression, I use this D is nothing but as a digit. Where it is, it's not opened. Okay, let me show. So a digit plus the thing is there, no, the same thing I designed here. Okay, next. After this regular expression, I got this data. Now, the same data I looped here. Okay, first of all, it will take one by one data. So when you check here, current row of zero dot to string, one by one, first data it will come. So later I used here. I mean, this temp counter zero and these are the variables. So every time it will zero and incrementing this as per the process descriptions. And next I use these columns. So I got to know how much data it will come here. And next I don't know how many columns will come. So further looping that column, for example, I need to fetch this column one data, this one. Next, once this data is done, I need to update this data to the array. Okay, I have the temp array. I'm updating this to the zero. So temp counter for the one thing, temp counter one for the array. You can declare vice versa. And next it will get this second thing and third. Okay, now this is the way how design this logic. After this, I'm taking this regular expression again. So getting the one, column two, column three, all the data has been fetched. So now I'm running this automation. So just observe this how it will, whether the data will come or not. If it is come, how it's come. Okay, once it is come, how we can utilize that data to the our project, I mean our whatever it may be. So we need to understand that. Okay, this error got occurring repeatedly because my network disabling. So this is that's why getting this error. So let me connect this network and back. Connected my network and just I will retry here. It should work basically. Okay, it's working. So how you know it's working means because it's taking some time to get the downside. That's the one thing. So it working. Let it wait. Okay, if it is not getting the data, so just stop this automation and return. Okay, now it's got it. Okay, now we'll go one by one. Okay, already we designed. We know that temp array having this data. So if you want, you can just check this temp array. Both the things. Let me clear this data first of all. Okay, now I will check for this temp array. Okay, so I have designed temporary five things because I have the five columns. That's it. Next, this data. What is this data table, temp table result? So just check this temp table result. I got this one by one already we discussed, and now I'm looping this one. So just I will go inside. Okay, this as an activities or let it be no issues. And next I'm looping this one. First of all, what I will do? So I will loop these columns. So initially what I did now, so I want to get all this data. So all this data to one thing. So that's why I use this another loop. So now it's got then and it go to the regular expression. And now we can check this here, what this data is. So right now it's got zero now. So for example, just I will check, I will show you here. Current row of zero dot posting, what the data it will come to. So when you check here, I got this data. Okay, this is the data which is available on the column 0. Next, I will show that the column 2 as well. So let me run this. So I got this error. Why this occur? So temp array counter. Okay, maybe let me stop this and the same logic I have designed. Just I will go to this the original one. So maybe a small thing I missed. Sometimes same logic also implementing showing to demo this kind of issues very normal. I designed this temp counter one temp array of okay, same thing I designed here. Let me check vice versa what is happening here. So temp counter 0. dataset dot columns. This is fine. And I will just check for the regular expression. So regular expression current row of okay current item dot to string assign activity uh, temp results counter one dot to string counter one temp result counter one dot to string. Okay, later temp counter. Okay, as it is the same thing we designed, but I'm not sure why it's not occurring. So let me check one more time. Temp array of temp counter. Temp array of temp counter. That's fine. And next temp counter one. Temp counter one. Mm, 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 mm. Temp table result. Okay, here I need to give this temp table result. So I missed one thing. Let me check with the top one whether I given the same thing. Temp table result. I mean anything is fine. It's not in that thing. Okay, here I will check this temp table result. Okay, anyway, let me close this. I will close the both things and I will go with the main. The same logic I have implemented on the main. Just for explain purpose, I copied this main copy. Okay, logic has been the same thing. So might be when I using that variable, it got this some messy. So rest of the thing is the same. Okay, now I will run this one again. So when you're implementing these kind of big logics, it will take some messy only. While explaining also bit tricky to explain the others. Okay, now it's came. So first loop it's initiated and temporary the matches everything is done. So now it went to the second loop and take this things as an activities temp counter 0 and 1 and next it will meant to the rejects and it updates the data. So now I will check here temp array. So initially temp array is 0 all having the null. Now it got this one by one. The first data got appeared. Okay, now it needs to look for second data. Okay, let me step here into here. So now what it will do now, it will get that rejects for the second item because we kept here this as a dynamic. So for that purpose, the thing happened. Now I will just enter here. It will give this 2 by 2. So when you check here, 2 by 2 column the data it's giving. So let me inside here and I will check this temp array again. I will show five things. I mean, we have the five columns. So I will show for the five columns, not this on the top one. So now we just check. It got updated for the 0 of 1. I mean, temp array of 1. It got updated. Now again, it will loop inside and again it will go to the matches. Okay. Once we check in the matches, so what the data it will give thought table. Okay. Once this is done, so I got this data. So let me show that temp array as well. It updated to the third, I mean index of the 2. And similar way, it will go for the next column. So what is the next column is I have this table number 4. So just check for the table, got the table number 4 and I will just check for the temp array as well. So I got this fourth table on the index of 3 and similar way final column. So my final column is I have the data as a fifth table. Okay, let me check that as well. So this is a fifth table and temp array. So now I got this 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 1. I mean 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 3 by 1, 4 by 1, 5 by 1. This column. I mean when you check this, enter this row. 5 columns, 1 row. The data has been updated into the 1 row. So I got this temp array. Now what it will do, it will come outside of this temp array. So when you check here, it added to the temp data table. Now I will show this final data, not the table, final data table, final data table. So I have this 5 columns. Okay. And now once I step into here, it got updated to the one row. Okay. It's got updated for the one row. And I will put breakpoint here. I will show for 2 to 3 columns. I mean, 2 to 3 rows. Okay. Now I will go for the, so, okay. I need to step into here. So now it's got this second data table. Let me step into, next step. Okay, let's step into, I got 2 by 1, 2 by 2. Okay, why it's getting 1 by 1 3 times? Okay, let me run till here. We'll build that. Okay, now I will check this final data table. 1 by 1, 1 by 2. Okay, just now I run, it's working fine, but again it got something here. If let me stop this and I will disable this one. Just I will check. Okay, let me click on this continue and I will check this data table. Okay, I got this 1 by 1, 1 by 2. All the data has been done. Okay, so what is the my data? So this is the my data. So on the same data, I will update to the Excel file. Let me remove this data. Okay, it is in open status now. Okay, previous the data is like this, and I will remove and I will step into this. So we can see this data is in our regular format. So when you check here, I got this data. Okay, similar way, I have this one more table. I got this another data table now. So let me update this as well and we'll check. So whether it will work fine or not. Already I checked. So for everything, it's working fine. So we need to understand whether it's working for that or not. So let me go and check this further. Okay, let me run this. Whether it will update the data or not, we need to check that. Okay, let it click on that continue. Okay, it's throw this error. So because this tempo counter 0 is there now, I need to implement that. Let me show that as well. Now I will show. I will tell you that reason as well why. Just I enable. Okay, now let me run one more time. So let me click on the continue, and now this time it's got run. And just I will update this final data table. Okay, and I will go this output as well. Let me remove this output file. Okay, just done. Okay, now I will open this thing. So why? Because means, so when you got these 2 columns, previous I have this only the one, not the columns. Previously I have this only the one row. Now for this second document, I have this 2 rows. So when you check here, I have this 2 rows. I have the data like that. Okay, so that's why it's got issue. So now what you need to do now, you need to just check this how many rows are there. If it is rows, then you can you don't use this one. If it is a row equals to 1, you should not use that. If it is, just I will update that logic after. So just I will take if condition where I can get this rows. Let me take this data table dot rows dot count greater than 1. Okay, if it is greater than 1, then I need to use this one. Okay, I will go and apply this one here again. Why I'm writing this means you need to understand the concept clearly, what is doing and why. I mean, this one also get to know right now only. Previously, yesterday I run only for the one case. I mean, one document. Now there is no issue for one document. It's fine. So now I get to know. So as per the circumstance, we need to understand that logic and we need to implement what is the best case for it. Okay, now I will run one case and I will run for the second one also. Without we'll check. Where is this? I will remove this breakpoints as well. So now not required this breakpoints. Let me run that as well. Remove the breakpoint. Okay, so it's got done. I go back to this and I will check here. So I got this first file has been done. No issues. And I will show for the third file also. Third file it won't extract. I will tell the reason why it's won't able to extract. Okay, Xbox open. Okay, now I will go and change this variable for the file page 2. Okay, let me run this. Yesterday I checked only for the page 1 and page 3. Page 3 I know it won't work because it has some limitations. I will show that limitations as well. And I will go back to this again, the data. And now it got extracted. If want, you can add that column on the top side, add headers, that's fine. So now anyway, this is one of the solution. I designed the another two solutions also, but those solutions are bit tricky and very complex. This solution has very easy to implement this. Only the just thing is understand how the looping part is working, because here we use three loops. So when you check for the first look for the rows. We don't know how many rows are it will come. Okay, and second look for the data. On the row one, I don't know how many times I need to loop. Okay, and third loop is for the columns. I don't know how many columns it will come, and I don't know how many times it needs to loop. So that's why these three are the combination with each other one by one. Okay, now finally I will run for the third one. And yesterday I run this for third one as well, but I got this error. I will show the same error why it's not working. We have to wait for this. I hope I know this video is very length, but sometimes understanding is a very important. So just understand what the things are done. Now let wait. If it is working fine, then I'll good. Okay. The same thing. So you can just data extraction scope. You can see this. It has a limitations. Where it is limitations. So you have exceeded the request site limitation of the currently used plan. So as of now, this is a community version. So I don't have that much. I mean, what you say licenses. We can use that, and you can see this here. What is this? Okay. So free kit. You can check here. Free kit edition allows the document. Here only the here is wait. Okay, let it be. Free kit edition having this document maximum 2 pages. So right now I use the third page. So because of that reason, it won't extract the data. So in real time, when you go to original licenses, everything. So there you can extract it. That's not any big deal. And one more thing is, so this is a one of the case I face somewhere else, but I don't want to say that where I got faced this issue. So due to that, I created this document. If you want these documents, you can just go to one page on. So go to this geekforce org.tables. Okay, and just control plus 3, and you can see this page. So you can just custom range. For example, I want to the table for the two. I think yesterday I exported. So if I want to get only the two, so just give this two and click on that save. Yeah, so it will download that page. So later you can, I will download and show that. Rest of the things you can. Okay, this is fine. So now I got saved and I will show the data. Let me go to downloads. So this is the one. You can see this. So I got this extracted this table. So like this I extracted. So why I am saying with this path, I mean I don't have the GitHub. I mean I have the, but right now I'm not sharing that. So you can just go and check and try for the things. You can download that PDF files and you can explore that whatever wish you can. So just try and explore. Still, if you got any doubts on this kind of things, you can share your valuable comments on the comment section. So always I try to I try to give the answers as well. And apart from this, I saw one more thing on the channel, one comment. I will share that comment as well right away. So let me go to the comments. So when you check here, but this can be do in a, Excel easy very way. What is the differences? So basically, I have created one document understanding. They are saying we can go with this directly with Excel file. So now I want to show that as well. Let me open this Excel file. Okay, let me close, and I have give this data from file. Okay, from PDF. So I have the PDF file now, so I will just update the PDF file. And here my PDF file is, I will go, already I downloaded just now. So I taken this one. Okay, it's very easy. We can just, right now I have the three tables. Okay, okay, okay. Let me, I need to go back one more time. Let me edit, where it is here, edit, view. Okay, let me pull the data one more time. So I just double click there, so it's got entered somewhere else. I will take this file. Okay, now when you check here, I got this data. I got this data. So when you check here, I have the three data tables, but when you check here, original way, having only the one data table file. So now here the problem is we don't know how we can identify which table having the which data. Okay, that's one of the big issue. So for that purpose, we need to use the macros backend side, and we need to loop each and everything, and we need to check that. So still not sure whether it will work. I think it will work, but we need to design a lot of the script what we need to do. When you come to the Uipath, it's having some flexibility. We can directly fetch the data easily to understand that. So that's why this is the main differences we need to that. Right now, I have this one page document, and similar, I will show the two documents. Let me open this document too as well. Where is, I have this data here. I go these coding files, in document understanding, input. So this is the third page. I have this three pages data now. So now when you check here, I have this these many pages. I don't know which page having the which data. Now when you check here, I have this data table, and next I have this data table. Next, I have this data table. So this is a messy, and we need to identify which data table is required really to us. So that's why this document understanding has some powerful concept. Still, if you want, you can try with Abby Flexi Capture also. The same thing, it will work. So this is the thing. Still, if you have any doubts, if you want anything on this particular thing, let me know. I will do video this concept as well.